Good evening. Welcome to the media stand-up. Let me introduce the officials on stage. We have Deputy Financial Secretary Mr. Michael Wong, Secretary for Innovation Technology Industry Professor Sun Dong, Permanent Secretary for Innovation Technology and Industry Mr. Eddie Mack, and also Director of Information Services Mr. Fletch Chen. Now the two secretaries will first speak, and then the Permanent Secretary will also be briefing you on the details. Thank you. First, the Deputy Financial Secretary. Members of the media and the public, good evening. Together with Secretary for Innovation Technology Industry, Professor Sun Dong, Permanent Secretary for Innovation Technology Industry, Mr. Eddie Mack, and Director of Information Services, Mr. Fletch Chen, are here today to announce good and encouraging news to you. The country is to start the selection of a fourth batch of astronauts for the mission, and then for the first time they're going to recruit payload specialists from Hong Kong. So Hong Kong people will have a chance to be involved in the space technology work, and then also to contribute to that. Now, this is the 30th anniversary of the space program of the country. Over these years, the country's been making immense achievements and breakthroughs. It's now among the world's top countries in that respect. Now, we believe every time with a space mission, when it succeeds, it will enhance the pride of the people of Hong Kong. As for the recruitment of specialists from Hong Kong, that shows that the country cares and about the people of Hong Kong. They take very seriously the talents in Hong Kong, and also this is a show of support for Hong Kong. So the SAR government is very much honored by this decision. Now, it is the 25th anniversary of Hong Kong's return to the motherland. This is excellent present from the country to us. The SL government will fully support the recruitment exercise. Now, in recent years, Hong Kong's been making much development in innovation and technology. Many of our scholars have received recognition by the country and the international community. And then Hong Kong has also given much support to the aerospace missions of the country. Some young people in Hong Kong have great interest in the aerospace missions of the country. Now, there will be recruitment of payload specialists from Hong Kong. It shows our young people that their dream could be realized. There is also the opportunity for them to contribute to the country. In September last year, the students and research staff of Hong Kong were invited to a real-time online chat with the 3 astronauts in space. There was some overwhelming response from Hong Kong, and the interaction showed that there are many students in Hong Kong who have great interest in aerospace development, and I hope the young people will continue to work hard so they could eventually realize their aerospace dream. Now I'll invite Professor Sun Dong to speak. Professor Sun, please. First of all, I would like to thank the Deputy Financial Secretary for sharing this great piece of news with the people of Hong Kong. Now, for the younger generation in Hong Kong, they have this aerospace dream. There are many people in Hong Kong, and there are many groups in Hong Kong that provide aerospace education to young people, and they are that's very popular among Hong Kong. There is, the Aerospace Association, or Institute of Aerospace, and so on in Hong Kong. Now, to the people of Hong Kong now, aerospace is no longer just a dream. This is an important industry in Hong Kong, actually. This year, we see great leap in the development of the aerospace industry in Hong Kong. There is an aerospace group that's been established in Hong Kong, and then with the country and different businesses around the world, Hong Kong businesses have formed partnerships with them. And then local universities have also been actively taking part in the various aerospace missions. For example, for Tianwen-1, the first Mars landing mission, and also for Chang'e 4, Chang'e 5, Hong Kong universities have given their support. In 2021, Hong Kong launched its first satellite, Golden Bohemia 1, 01 and 02. To support aerospace development in Hong Kong, the SAR has been making use of the Innovation and Technology Fund to support various research projects. For example, with the material science and electronic science, they are closely related to aerospace technology. So research funding is provided to encourage local university scholars to provide high-quality research work. This will also help to nurture research talents in Hong Kong. And also, there are many universities in Hong Kong that have launched aerospace or related programs to nurture talents. For Hong Kong, with aerospace technology, it will eventually have to become an industry in Hong Kong for it to have its foothold established here. I believe the recruitment exercise will give momentum to Hong Kong for its development in aerospace technology, and then will eventually become an international innovation and technology hub. Now, I would invite Mr. Eddie Mack to give you the details of the recruitment exercise. Thank you, Professor. Good evening. Perhaps I could give you the detailed arrangement for the recruitment of payload specialists from Hong Kong. Usually, payload specialists are scientists or research personnel in a relevant specialist field. In aerospace missions, they are responsible for carrying out experiments in space. They also operate the various experiment equipment and also support other astronauts with managing the station affairs. Now, the SL government will support the first selection exercise. The selection will start from the 6th to the 27th of October. As for further selection, that will be the responsibility of the mainland authorities. Now, we will go through a number of organizations with the first pre-selection exercise. First, the 11 local universities. 2, the 5 research institutes in Hong Kong, as well as the Hong Kong Productivity Council. 3, Cyberport and Science Park research and development organizations and businesses. 4, government departments and the hospital authority. If there are organizations outside of these 4 groups, and if there are businesses which want to sign up, the SL government would also consider such interest. Now, the participants have to meet certain requirements in terms of age and physical fitness. Also, in their own specialist field, they have to have a doctorate degree, and then they must have at least 3 years of experience in their field. The detailed criteria will be uploaded to the thematic web page of the Innovation, Technology and Industry Bureau. Now, we encourage all those who meet the basic requirements and all those who aspire for aerospace career to take part in this pre-selection exercise. Now, this is a invaluable opportunity. So, taking this opportunity, we're going to host a series of activities so the public could learn more about the achievements of the country in the aerospace field, and also we could see how we could take part and contribute to the missions. At the same time, of course, we would like the people of Hong Kong, in particular young people, to have an interest in aerospace and astronomy. Thank you. So I'll invite the Director of Information Services to brief you further. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Permanent Secretary. Like the PS said a moment ago, this is a rare opportunity. We very much hope that together with various organizations, organize a whole raft of aerospace programs to pique the interest in the aerospace and also to encourage the primary, secondary students to equip themselves so that they will be able to make contribution to the nation in this field. The RTHK will produce specific programs to introduce the scientific research personnel in their participation in the aerospace programs. And the RTHK will also gather together all the information on the relevant programs. The Space Museum and the Museum of Science will also introduce the aerospace information, and the experts and also the members who have taken part in the youth space program will be invited to take part. The HAB will also be organizing relevant activities. With the support of the ITIB, our Hong Kong Foundation will organize the program to showcase all the innovative achievements in the mainland. There will be a lot of exhibits to be on display. We will encourage the various sectors in the community to organize activities relating to aerospace in order to create the right atmosphere. Right, and I'll throw the floor open for questions. Please raise your hands and please wait for the mic to come along. And the lady in blue, please. HKO1. Well, the applicants, do they only need to have Hong Kong ID card, or do they have to fulfill the requirements like they have to be part of the 11 universities and also 3-year qualifying period? And when training is taking place, will this be taking place in the mainland or in Hong Kong? Will there be any remuneration for the training? And upon the completion of training, how soon will they be take part in the operation? Well, the applicants would have to be Chinese citizens. Like Mr. Mack said, we have to have regard to the academic qualifications. That is understandable because it is really an important undertaking to be payload specialist. Now, you mentioned the institutions they come from. Like Mr. Mack said, he mentioned a dozen or so institutions. If people are serving in a particular organization and they feel interested, we will certainly have a look at this. In the course of training, people don't have to worry about their day-to-day life. We do have appropriate allowance to make sure that they will be able to have a decent life. But the training will be provided by the mainland. Next question. The gentleman in blue in the last row, please. RTHK, you mentioned the age requirements and the fitness requirements. Now, will you tell us more specific details about these and how many candidates do you anticipate who will fulfill the criteria to be part of this recruitment exercise? You mentioned the recruitment and the training is going to be taking about 1.5 years, and you mentioned some allowance to be made available. Will the allowance be on the same par as the mainland astronauts trainees? Right, about the training, we hope that there will be Hong Kong people to be recruited as payload specialists, and there will be a suitable arrangement there. Now, you mentioned the height and all the relevant requirements. If Mr. Mack has the information, he is only pleased to make this available. Thank you, Secretary. Right, about the payload specialist there are certain requirements in terms of age. It should be between 30 and 45. Now, physical physique, there will be a requirement on height. For male, it is 162 to 175. For female, 160 to 175. Now, these payload specialists will be going into space, and there will be specific fitness requirements. And there shouldn't be any allergy, and there shouldn't be any history of illness. And there will be specific fitness checkup to make sure that people will fulfill the requirements. What about those who have suffered from COVID? Well, communicable disease would be one of the areas that will be looked at. As to whether this would affect the flight mission, it will be up to the experts to decide. The lady over there in white, please. 明報 Daily. Yes, please. The Xinhua news agency reports that the engineers, pilots, and payload specialists will be on offer in the recruitment exercise. Why is it that only payload specialists will be open to Hong Kong? It's because of national security issue. And in terms of the manned space website, and all the astronauts are CCP members. And will this element be taken into account for the recruitment of payload specialists? Now, for this recruitment exercise in Hong Kong and Macau, how did you discuss this with the mainland authorities? In future, will Hong Kong people be allowed to take part in all the other posts in the space program, or is it because the mainland doesn't have any confidence in Hong Kong?
Now, you make some assumptions. I wouldn't, make such assumptions. Now, about astronauts being the pilots in other countries, usually it's the Air Force officers who would do that. And in Hong Kong, we don't have Air Force officers. The government flying service does not qualify in that respect. And then for other engineers in Hong Kong, we don't have that many talents. But when it comes to payload specialists, as Professor Sun, these are people who specialize in material science or aerospace technology. In the past, we have plowed in much resources, so we do have talents in those fields. And so there's a good reason why the country is making this arrangement. I think it makes perfect sense. And as far as I understand, there is no such requirement. Next question, please. The lady in light blue. I'm from Phoenix TV. A question for Professor Sun. Now, this is the first time that astronauts are recruited in Hong Kong. Now, for payload specialists, does it mean that Hong Kong has competitiveness and an advantage in this respect? And then for astronauts, they will go through really tough physical training. Do we have the talents in Hong Kong? And when it comes to training of the talents, will it soon become established arrangement? Thank you for your question. Now, reason why the payload specialists are recruited in Hong Kong is, as the Deputy Financial Secretary said, is having regard to the availability of talents in Hong Kong, because we have many research staff in Hong Kong. And so with these researchers, we have the condition to recommend researchers to join the country's aerospace program. Now, as for other positions such as astronauts or engineers, if in future we have such talents, that there is a chance that those positions will open to the people of Hong Kong too. Now, when it comes to astronauts or payload specialists, there are certain requirements in terms of physical fitness and so on. So I'm sure in Hong Kong we do have talents that could meet these requirements. This is the first time for this recruitment. We hope in future there will be the opportunity for Hong Kong people to recommend more talents to take part in the country's manned aerospace program. Next question. Now this will be the last question The lady in blue in the third row. I'm from Nanfang Daily. A question for Professor Sun Dong. Now, in terms of aerospace, how much investment is Hong Kong making in this field, and do you have plan to increase the investment? The backdrop here says, realize our dream, serve the country. In terms of technology, say in other aspects of aerospace technology, what other contribution can Hong Kong people make to the country? Thank you for your question. Over the years, through the Innovation and Technology Fund, the Hong Kong SL government has funded quite a number of research teams on aerospace or related research projects. For example, Professor Rong Qinian and another professor of the Hong Kong Polytechnic University has led teams, and these teams have received funding support from the SL government. And then in electronics, material science, and other research projects, the findings could actually be applied to aerospace projects. Apart from research, scientific research, in the aerospace technology industry, there's been much progress in recent years in Hong Kong. For example, now we have talents in satellite launching, or we have companies in satellite launching and so on. And then the SL government also has plans to give further support to the such aerospace and related industries. We believe for aerospace industry, it will become an important component of our reindustrialization effort. Then Hong Kong, they will also contribute to Hong Kong becoming an innovation and technology hub. Thank you. So that's the end of the media session. Thank you.